everything inspires me. It could be nature, it could be a piece of furniture in a room. It really just depends on the client and what they're looking for, and the space too, because I don't want to design a room that doesn't fit in that home or it doesn't fit for the client. I had one client that I didn't have any inspiration for until we came across this really cool mid-century modern table with a chrome base, and it had a gray top, so I painted it, and then all of a sudden the ideas started rolling, and the inspiration came from that table. So everything in her home had a piece of metal on it, or it was wood, or something that related to that table. And so in that instance, it was a table. For another client, it was another piece of furniture that they had. So inspiration for me can come from anywhere. Most of us think of as interior design as coordinating home decor and furniture and different arrangements in the home, and for me it goes a little deeper. If I'm working in your home and I'm not telling your story through your interior design, or you don't feel the way you want to feel in that room, whether it's energetic and electric and fun, or you want to feel warm and cozy and safe, or you want to work in that space, then, and if it's not functional for you and it's not going to work out for you, then I don't feel that's good design, and that's not what I want to do for you. I want to create a space that you really truly love and that it reflects your personality and your style and who you are and tells your story. When a room feels off, you feel off, which means it goes back to maybe sometime when you were younger. A lot of people aren't aware. I wasn't necessarily aware of what I was doing all these years in my own personal home with this in design. I'm self-taught, and I just go by how I feel. And if something feels good, I do it, and I didn't necessarily know why. And a lot of people come into a room and they might feel off, and they don't know why. They don't understand that the room might be out of balance, or that the colors don't harmonize well. They just know that something's off, and they feel it, but they may not recognize it because we're not used to tapping into our emotions and understanding why we feel the way we do in a room. So this may make you feel off. And we're also taught different things about different rooms, like master bedrooms, for instance. We're taught to stay out of them and not go into that space because that's your parents' private space. So when you're going through a home and you get to that master bedroom, you want to get through it as quickly as possible. It doesn't matter how beautiful it is, how good it feels. You want to get out of there because that's someone's sacred space. And you just feel that, and you just know it, and you keep moving without even thinking about why it is that you don't like being in that room. And so that's one of the reasons I think that you feel off when a room is off. Color is very important to me. That's how I tie a room together, is with colors. However, it depends on the project, because sometimes I'm doing redesign projects where I'm working with what clients already have. And in that case, furniture placement is number one, and then color would be number two in importance in that room. But when I'm doing a total design for a space, we select the colors, and that helps me rein in all the overwhelming possibilities of what direction to go, because color conveys a feeling and a sense of who you are. And I don't want to put a light and airy color in a space that you want to feel warm and cozy and safe. And I also don't want to use dark, deep colors when you want to feel light and airy and fun. So color really plays a big importance in interior design, and I use it to select fabrics for furnishings and window treatments and for everything in the space, and I just watch it unfold as I go along the process of working in interior design for my clients. The 5 power words that I ask my clients actually came from one of my mentors when I was taking a color confidence class, and these power words are designed to get people to come out and reveal a little bit about themselves to me, and it helps me tap into who they are and see how they want to feel in their spaces. And along with the color and the power words, then I can determine what direction the design needs to take. I actually had one client who I went through a design process. She already had furniture in her space, she already had a color, but she needed window treatments, accessories, and different things. And we went through the process, and sometimes it's very hard for people to give me even 3 words to describe how they want to feel in their space. They don't always get it, what I mean. Well, this particular client went through the process, and at the end of all of it, she looked at me and she said, you know, when you asked me in my dining room how I wanted to feel, I didn't get it, I didn't really understand, but now that you're finished, I can really see and appreciate what you meant, because I feel so good in these spaces and I feel the way I want to, which I didn't have that before, but I didn't know the difference because I had nothing to compare to. So using these power words is just really a way of me to tap into a person and how they want to feel and how they want their space to reflect who they are. And I use all of this intuitively in my design work for them. My 5 power words for my design aesthetic would be eclectic. I love everything. I love modern pieces, antique pieces, shabby chic, classic, traditional. I just love it all, and I love being eclectic, and I love being able to change up the space so that it all is infused together in one welcoming space. Along with eclectic, I would say global. I love to travel, and I love to collect pieces from my travels. When I was 19 years old, I traveled to the South Pacific, and I had decided before I left that no t-shirts. I wasn't going to do any of the typical gifts. I was going to look for jewelry or artwork, something that was significant to me that I would have, you know, my entire life to remind me of that trip. And so if you go through my home, you'll see different global pieces that I've collected, and sometimes they're store-bought or I've collected them from travels, but mainly from travels. Personal. I have a personal style, and I love my home to reflect who I am. And when you look around at all the pieces that I have hanging on the walls or sitting out, which I don't have much, I have a clean style as well, but these pieces mean something to me or my family or, you know, someone that comes here, and I can tell them a story about it, and it makes me feel good to see these things in my home. So personal is one of my power words. Interesting. Interesting is a word because I'm an introvert, and when I have pieces in my home that are interesting, people ask me about them, which forces me to talk about pieces in my home. And I love to share the stories behind a piece that I may have picked up because someone purchased it and it was too large for their home and they had to sacrifice this gorgeous piece, or the piece that looks like it's all beat up and roughed up and people think I'm going to restore it because that's one of the things I do. And I said, no, I wouldn't touch that piece. That's just the way it came in. I love it just the way it is. So interesting is one of my power words. Functional would be one of my last power words because I love everything to function well. We have a home that works very well for us, and I've changed it around to make it functional for our family needs. And I have this particular table that I absolutely love. It's a high-low table, and most of the time when I'm entertaining, it serves as a coffee table. And then other times, when we're having a fire on a cold winter's night, we can raise the table up to table height and enjoy a meal there as a family. So the pieces, I have to have something that functions as well as be beautiful. And that would be my 5 power words for my design aesthetic. To me, it's never done. I'm always rearranging furniture in my space just to change it up and feel better. Sometimes that's all we need, is to rearrange the furniture when it feels a little stale and a little old. Recently, I had a time where I was like, oh, this place just feels like, I don't know, there's something a little bit wrong. And I thought, what would I tell a client? I thought, oh, change it. So I looked around and I removed a few pieces, moved them to other rooms, and donated a couple things. And before I knew it, I had the space opened up and feeling so much better to me. And the energy shifted and I could feel it. And I felt a sense of accomplishment because I had changed it up. I had donated some things that were helpful to other people, and they were very excited about that as well. And that always makes you feel good when you can give to someone else. As far as clients go, when a room is finished, it's usually when they're finished. Sometimes clients can't finish a project because of financial needs, or something comes up and we just can't get to the windows, or they've just decided that they like the way it looks at that point, or they're waiting for a piece. And that's one of the biggest things. A client will be waiting for that perfect piece to hang above their sofa or their bed, and we will wait, and it will turn up. It's just a matter of time, and sometimes it takes a while. So for me, I don't think of a room as ever finished. I'm always changing it. But for clients, it's when they say it's done. The most satisfying part of what I do comes when I've completed a project and I've seen it through from start to finish, and how it's unfolded over the process and how it's all come together and it works beautifully. And then when the client comes in the room and I get to see their face light up, and the expressions of everything from joy to excitement to disbelief, everything, that's what's really worth it for me in the end, because it's a difficult process doing a redesign or a design and going through the installation process. Recently, my father worked on a 3-day project with me, and so did my mother, for a redesign. And we had problem after problem, and we finally got through it all. And as we're going through this, my dad's like, "And why do you do this again?" And I said, "I'm starting to wonder myself, because it's just very stressful, and no one really sees behind the scenes and what's going on. They just go to work or go away and come home, and it's like magic. The room has been transformed for them." And so that's the part that I really love, and that's what keeps me going, is seeing how clients feel when they come into that space now. And I have one client that every time she sends me an email now, I get at the end, "I love my room, I love my room," every time. And that's what I love about this work, is the sense of satisfaction of helping someone and helping them feel good in their home, and when they come back to it and know that they're relaxing, or they're enjoying time with their family in that space, and now they really do love it and can't believe that it's their stuff and their home, and it's just been interpreted for them, and telling their story in the way that they want it to be told. A lot of people see that I do all kinds of things and think that's amazing, but what I really feel is amazing about myself is that I have 3 children, and that I'm a mother. And a lot of people don't know that my first child had birth injury, and he was this beautiful baby, healthy, 8.5 pounds, big brown eyes just like mine, dark hair, and just so beautiful. In a matter of minutes, he changed, and he had special needs that required nursing care, and I became instantly a mother and a nurse to my son. And a lot of people don't know that about me, that I took care of him in our home. We had care. He needed care 24 hours a day, and I became virtually a shut-in for 10 years, taking care of my children. And he was a couple years old, and we decided to have another child. And so with our son Brady, we had Charlie, and she helped balance out my life, and she was just so beautiful and perfect. And it was very difficult taking care of both of them together, but I managed it because I love them so much. And then along came Riley, our surprise, and he's my youngest son. And just being a mother and being able to take care of my children and watch them grow and change and help them with their learning, and is just, I find that amazing. And there's one more thing a lot of people don't realize, is that my oldest son just passed away in 2012 at the age of 15. And it's been difficult at times, but You know, it's just part of what we all go through, and I think a lot of that helps me working with my clients is that I've been through things like they've been through those things, and I know what it's like to spend time in your space and be there every minute and looking at the same walls and needing to have a sense of feeling good in that space while you're there all the time.